Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Happya Life Podcast. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. After deciding survival wasn't enough, I set out on a path to live my best life. I wanted to thrive. Now I'm on a mission to support others. Think you're not good enough, confident enough, brave enough? I'm here to tell you you are, and you can achieve anything. This is your time, so let's do this. Hello and welcome to the Happya Life Podcast. I'm Clare Deacon, your host, positive psychology coach, therapist, and your gentle but honest guide for navigating the messy middle between breakdown and breakthrough. Today, we're going to be diving into a phase that so many of us find ourselves in, but often feel completely unprepared for: the aftermath of survival. That place where the chaos has calmed, the immediate crisis is over, and you're left standing asking, now what? Maybe you've made it through something really hard: grief, burnout, trauma, a massive life upheaval. And now the world is asking you to start all over again from a place where you never intended to be. But instead of feeling hopeful, you feel stuck, numb, and disconnected. You know you should be grateful you've got through it, that you're out the other side. It's not where you chose to be. It's not a place you intended to arrive at that point. But part of you wonders, is this it? If this is you, if this resonates with you, then today's episode is going to help you. You've survived something life-changing, but feel unsure how to rebuild. You're craving some direction, but feel overwhelmed by options. You're ready for more, but you don't know what that looks like yet. And perhaps it feels that this lack of safety or uncertainty around what that looks like is unnerving you and holding you back. So let's really explore what it means to move beyond that survival mode, why this phase can feel so confusing, and how really you can normalize that. So I'm going to give you some practical soul-aligned steps to help you reframe, rebuild, but on your own terms. So, deep breath. Let's do this together. So, when you're stuck in that thick of survival mode, and when you're just trying to get through your day, it's all about safety. Your brain and your body are focused on one thing: protection, and rightly so. It's all about survival and making sure you make it through to the next day. But what happens when that storm goes quiet? Suddenly, all of that adrenaline that has been pumping through your body fades, and really the urgency lifts from you of the actions that you had to take, and you're left with an eerie stillness, silence, like the emotional equivalent of wandering through your house after a flood. Things might look okay on the surface, but inside you're not sure where to begin. And here's the hard truth: no one prepares you for this part. People rally around you in a crisis. They offer support when things are falling apart. But in the aftermath, when you're trying to piece together a new version of life, they've gone back to their own lives, and suddenly it can feel very quiet for you because you're the one who's still living a life that you don't recognize and you didn't intend to be in. So you're expected to carry on like you just didn't survive a storm. And this is where the rebuilding begins, because there isn't going to be a dramatic comeback, but it's about slow, gentle steps. And it first starts with that decision to stop surviving and start choosing. And I can really resonate with this because personally, I found myself at a very low moment after my husband had passed away, and I felt that storm had finished, and the children had gone back to school, and everyone else's normal had continued on, and there was no normal for me anymore, and it meant that I had to face doing things differently. I'd not just lost him in the here and now, I'd lost the whole of the future that we had together. I'd lost that dream. Things were never going to look the same again. So there was part of me that's the question about fighting and having to fight to get things back to a normal, to support my children, etc. But if I was going to do all of that fighting, I knew that I needed to do it for something more than survival, because damn, it's hard work and it takes perseverance and it takes courage to do all of this. So I made that decision there and then that if I was going to do this, if I was going to have to live a life where curveballs can be served without warning to you, then I was choosing to go beyond survival, which is fundamental in everything that I talk about now and the work that I do with clients, is that we all deserve more and we get to live a life which is more, and you find you're happier. So let's get really clear. Moving beyond survival doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean that you're suddenly bursting with confidence or joy and dancing around and everything's resolved. But it does mean that you're no longer in that survival place. It means you get to begin to notice those tiny moments of stillness that don't feel terrifying. The urge to start to dream again, even if it's foggy. Remember, your brain can close down and stop processing because it focuses where the attention needs to be in that moment. So it takes a while for it to feel safe again and for every part of your brain to start moving forward, which is where we talk about brain fog. So a desire for more than just hoping is what we're looking to achieve next. And even if that more feels really far away right now, the fact that you're wondering about it, that's the spark. That's the start of rebuilding, because rebuilding isn't about returning to who you used to be. It's not about creating a life that's grounded in who you were. It's about the life that's grounded in who you are now, after all you've learned, all you've endured, and all you've survived. And I promise you, there is a life beyond this moment, even if you can't see it just yet. So you don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to reinvent everything overnight. But what you do need is a place to start. So here are 4 gentle ways that I'm going to give you to start reclaiming your future, but doing it on your terms in a way that feels safe for your central nervous system. So the first step is to reconnect with what matters when everything else has been stripped away. It can be an invitation for you to ask what actually matters to you right now. So this is your opportunity to rebuild with intention, not from pressure or expectation, but from clarity. So ask yourself, what do I value now? What do I want more of? What do I want to leave behind? And it's okay if some of these answers surprise you. Maybe what mattered before the storm no longer fits. It's not regression, it's about evolution. So you get to choose. And when it really hits the fan, it's a time when it becomes more evident of really what your focus is. Okay. So steps 2. This is about starting with some small anchors in the aftermath. Big goals can feel really intimidating, they can feel unachievable. So instead, let's focus on anchors, small, steady practices that remind you of who you are. Now, that might be a walk for some of you in the morning to reconnect with yourself and your body. It might be for some of you journaling each night to process your thoughts. It may be taking a moment for having a nourishing meal in the day to remind yourself that your body deserves care. These aren't chores, they're kind of like a love note to your future self. They're starting to recognize your needs and to take care of yourself, and that you're going on this journey of rebuilding. So the third step, and this one is where it's an opportunity for letting joy into your life. So one drop at a time. So often we can feel guilty for feeling good after something hard. That first laughter after you've lost someone or someone else is going through something, it can feel really difficult. But here's the thing. Joy that you feel does not dishonor your pain or dishonor anybody else. What it's doing is honoring your resilience. So let yourself smile, even if it feels strange. Let yourself hope, even if it feels fragile. Let yourself want something again, even if you don't know how to get it yet. Joy is not to be considered a betrayal of what has happened. It's not a betrayal of the storm or those that have been impacted by the storm. Think of joy as being the bridge that will help you move forward. So step 4, don't do it alone. Rebuilding isn't meant to be a solo mission. You're not meant to be a solo mission, whether it's therapy or coaching, a support group, or just one other person who can truly see you. Let yourself be supported and find yourself that safe space. And if you don't know where to start, then that's exactly why I'm here. Book in a free chat with me. Let's have a conversation. No pressure, no pretense. It's just a safe space for you to figure out what comes next. Rebuilding after survival is not about rushing into reinvention. It's about reclaiming your pace, your presence, your power by bit. You don't need to have it all figured out. And I'm going to have to ask you to hold faith that there is something new, there is something different, there is something that is going to help you find that joy again. You just need to be willing to take the next true step. So here's some gentle reminders for you. You're not broken. You're in the process of rebuilding. Your future doesn't have to look like your past. And even if you're starting from scratch, you're still starting. So if this episode has resonated with you and you're ready to go deeper, then let's talk. You can book a free call with me at happiercoach.com/chat, or email me clare@happiercoach.com, and I'll send you some thoughts. So until next time, be kind to yourself. You're doing a brave, beautiful work of becoming, and I see you, and I'm here for you. Thank you for listening. See you next week. If you've enjoyed this episode, ensure you hit subscribe, head on over to my website, happiercoach.com, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and let me support you in living a happier life. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. Thank you for listening. Have a fabulous day.